Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Max's Worldview. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And today, I would like to talk about the history of Hungary and China's deep connection with it. So, Hungary is a very old civilization in Europe. One of their earliest civilizations were an ethnic group called the Magyars, and they were a tribal group, and they have a history of also being invaded by the Mongols. And after they weren't occupied by the Mongols anymore, then there's a very unique history that has happened and interesting facts about, like, in World War II, they were actually on the side of the Axis of Germany, Italy, and Japan. And they were a communist country. And I think this is a good transition to show its deep relationship with China, as Hungary used to be in the communist sphere, and of course China still is. And recently, this even accumulates into, even after the fall of the USSR, Hungary still has politicians and leaders that are friendly with the leaders of China and Xi Jinping. And they recently had a leader, Hungary recently had a leader who was outed because people didn't like his leadership anymore, and his name was Viktor Orban. And Viktor Orban has a very interesting history in how being a very radical right-wing leader and saying things that seem anti-immigrant and wanting to preserve European identity and culture. So I think one factor is also interesting to note is Hungary's history of they used to have a bigger territories, but then there's some territorial disputes in where after they lost their territories, okay, and it made them into a smaller country. And some political current in the country still want their territory back. I think the most famous is called Transylvania. And with an example of Transylvania, it's one of the most clear examples we can see. Another factor I would like to note is the Hungarian culture, in how it's a Central European culture, which makes it more unique and more distinct compared to Western and Southern Europe. And one thing I learned interesting is that Hungarian is not an Indo-European language, so it's interesting how they are very unique in their regard. And yeah, it's good to see, and I just hope to see more developments in where Hungary-China relations will go, and in the future, I hope things will go smooth for both nations. And this will be it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.